Hello, Game Changers Connection. It's 8 o'clock. I'm ready. I hope that you are. Daddy, I ask right now in the name of Jesus, God, that as I teach this lesson, as I come to you tonight, God, to every person that is about to jump on, every person that is already on, every person that is connected to this page, that God, you would give me something to say tonight that will be clarity. Give me something to say tonight that will be life-changing. Give me something to say tonight that is going to impact the lives of people, God. That every person that's connected to Game Changers page, that they will be able to apply every word that you give me on tonight to their lives. That they will be able to apply everything that you have placed in me on tonight, God, to give to them. Father, I pray right now in the name of Jesus that you would let your will be done through this scope, through this Facebook Live on tonight. God, I pray that not just your will be done, but people be able to face their pain and look at it in a different perspective, oh God. Look at it a different eye lens and a different visual, that they'll be able to adapt to the things that you have for them, God, that they'll be able to look it in the face and remind themselves that this is nothing but a giant, and that I'm able to overcome this giant. I'm able to overcome this situation because of you that lives on the inside of me, God, through the strength that you've given me, God, that I'll be able to overcome this situation. I'll be able to push through this situation no matter what. God, I say thank you. I honor you. And I adore you for being such an amazing and awesome God. God, you've been so good to us that every pain that we've experienced was worth it. And everything that we've experienced was worth it. And so for that, I give you glory and praise for our pain. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Hello to everyone that's about to jump on. Hello to every person that is watching the replay. Hello. This is Tanya Harton, the Game Changer Coach. My goal on this scope and on this Game Changer page is to push you from your pain to your purpose, and then from your purpose to your promise. And the way I do that is by getting you to say yes to your next. One of the ways I get you to say yes to your next, because I allow you, by letting you know my story. I try to be relatable. I try to be relevant. And I try my best to keep it real with you. And y'all, I'm having an issue with this hair right here, so I don't know what's going on. My beautician, my appointment is this Friday. But I try to be real. I try to be relevant. I try to be relatable to you and what's going on with you through this page. So if you're jumping on, we're going to go ahead and get started. The name of the topic today that I have is called Facing Your Pain. Facing your pain. Of course, it's going to go hand in hand with my book, There's Power in Your Pain. But I'm going to do a different twist. I did this class before when I first started on Periscope. For those that joined the Periscope page. So you're kind of getting a double dose of what I'm about to give. Thank you for hardening it up and liking. Yeah. Again, if you're on here, if you have a moment, what I call now, I think I'm going to create a game. It's called Game Changer Moment. If it's something that's going to be relevant to you, I dare you to type it on the screen. Let me know you're there by hitting up the hearts, by that you're a man at the moment, by hitting up the hearts, by letting me know you're there. This is not just a monologue. This is a dialogue. So I ask that you talk back and forth with me, letting me know again that you're in the house, that you're here. So let's talk. When I think about Game Changer, facing your pain. When I think about facing your pain, one of the things that I realized that it's facing your pain is that one thing about pain does not have a respect of person. Some of you that already heard me say a lot of things that I'm going to say tonight. Again, I realize that it might sound repetitive, but at the end of the day, I pray that it's very, very relatable. One of the things about pain is that pain is something that is hurtful. This is something that you experience that you never experienced in your life. This is something what I call that life happens unexpectedly. That life happens unexpectedly. Life happens, when you didn't even realize that it was happening. It's as if, you go and you hear about a family member that may have had a wreck. that may have passed away unexpectedly. Sometimes the blow is not so hard when you get the news that a family member has cancer and then they may have passed away. I'm not being sympathetic, but I'm just keeping it real. Is that what happens is that family member may pass away, but it's still a hard blow, but not like that person that had a wreck and you found out. You may have talked to them 3 minutes before the wreck, or you may have seen them the day before. Heart it up if you feel me. You may have had a encounter with them, the week before, and all of a sudden you receive a phone call that they're no longer here anymore, that they're gone, and you cannot talk to them anymore. You cannot have that conversation with them anymore. You cannot call them on the phone, anymore. All you can do is listen or look at the last text message that they send you, or you can look at the last thing that they send you. And this is the kind of pain that I want to deal with tonight. Facing your pain and your sadness, because a lot of us experience sadness, a lot of us experience pain. But one of the things that we always get to a point of is that when we experience sadness is just not losing a loved one. Sadness is, I've lost a job unexpectedly. I'm on this job for 12 years. I'm on this job for 11 years, or I'm on this job for 2 years, 9 months. And no matter what, I'm attached because God, I thought you told me that this was my job. And the next thing you know, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. I'm showing up on time. I'm leaving on time. I'm doing my job. I'm not using Facebook while I'm at work. I'm not on Instagram. That was shade, by the way. I'm not on Instagram while I'm at work. What I'm doing is making sure that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. And all of a sudden I go to work one day and they tell me that this job, they've been bankrupt, or they're no longer, they have not just bankrupt, but maybe they have gotten to a point to where they're no longer, everybody's just, it's time for them to go. I hope y'all understand. I'm trying to use the right word, but, when the company is going out of business and all of a sudden, nobody tells you anything and you lose your job, that will put you in a point of what I call depression, because I've experienced something that I've never experienced in my life, especially if you ain't never been on a job that you love. Or let's say your husband, some things go down and he may mess over you. He may cheat on you, or he may have passed away, whatever it may have been in your life. And what happens is life happens. Can you type on the screen? Life happens. Life happens. So what happens is life hits you, and your plea to God is, Lord, this is too much. I can't handle it. Can you type the number 1 on the screen if you believe that, God, this is too much? If you've ever been in a place where life has hit you and you said, God, this is too much. Like, how can you allow this to happen? Because can't nothing happen unless you allow it to happen. I dare you to heart it up if you feel me on this page. I dare you. I can't see your hearts. I can't see you typing, but I dare you to type it in the screen. God, that's me. Like, I've been through that, where I've experienced this type of pain, which is called sadness. And it's a pain that you never forget. It's a pain that you never forget, no matter what. I don't care how long. Thank you. I don't care how long the loved one is gone. I would never forget my cousin. I had just seen him at the Cold Spring Fair. These are only for my Cold Spring and Cleveland and Shepherd area, when the fair was in back in the day, not like it is now. But when we had the fair, I would never forget seeing my cousin by the name of, we called him Tapo, but by Benny Johnson out of Livingston. I remember seeing my cousin at the fair, and he walked up to me, and I was so busy talking to everybody else and holding this conversation with everybody else. And while I'm holding this conversation with everybody else, I remember him walking up to me, and he's like, hey, cuz. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And the last thing I remember is that he just vanished out of nowhere. He just left. And I remember a week or 2 later, I received that phone call that my cousin had a wreck in his diesel. He was out of town and he drove trucks. And I never forget receiving that call. And me and my cousin were pretty close. He taught me how to drive a 5-speed. He taught me how to drive, taught me how to drive a 5-speed. But I was always hooking him up with my cousins. If you got those kind of cousins, I dare you to heart it up. That was just my cousin. It was like a brother. He was like a brother to me. He's the son of she's my cousin, but I call her Annie, Aunt Ruth, and my cousin Brittany that's on this page as well. I dare you to show her some love as well. But I remember getting that call weeks later. And when I got the call weeks later that my cousin had passed away, And even as I'm talking about it now, like, I'm not going to get teary-eyed. Oh, my God. See, that's a pain that you can't explain. And it's been years since my cousin been gone. But I remember every conversation. I remember that last moment of, man, I wish I could have talked to him a little bit longer. I wish I could have spent more time with him. I wish I would have not been so focused on everybody else that was coming up to me at the fair. And I would have took that time to be able to sit with him. Come on, somebody. You got to feel. If you feel me, I dare you to put GCM, Game Changer Moment, on the screen if you're feeling me with that. I would never forget, like, walking into his funeral. And I'm like, this cannot be. This cannot be happening right now. Like, no, he's young, and my cousin was young at the time. He was in his 30s. So I'm like, no, this cannot be happening. This is not happening. Can somebody type on the screen? This ain't happening, man. Where y'all at? Come on, where you at? Where you at? It may be a delay, but I dare you to type on the screen, GCM. Like, I've been there before. Thank you, Charlotte. I see you. Yes, yes, you totally understand. You know, I've been there before. And the thing is that one thing about this pain is, like, you can't do nothing about it. Ugh. You can't do nothing about it. You can't change it. It happened. I'm talking about, thank you. I see you, Sister Katie. Yes, you can't do anything about it. You can't change it, man. This has happened. You lost your loved one. And your question is, God, why? Why them? And it's always the why them, because my cousin was out, you know, he was like the cool cousin. I felt like he kept the family together to me, you know, maybe not to anybody else. But I just kind of felt like ever since he's been gone, you know, family reunion hadn't been the same, you know, like going over to my aunt's house. I haven't been over there in years. It's just not the same. And it's like that. I dare you to put the number 1 on the screen if you feel like, you know, these things are happening and it's sad to me. If I lost a loved one, if I lost, you know, my job, if I lost whatever it is, when I deal with tonight, I'm dealing with the loss of something. Whatever that loss is in your life, I'm dealing with that. I lost something that was so important to me that I can't change. I can't do anything about. Come on, somebody. That I can't. Yes. I can't change. I can't do anything about. And your question to God is why? Can I tell you that it's okay? You know, most people in the church will tell you, know, don't ask God why. God, you know, no, you can't do that. But at the end of the day, what you got to realize is that God is sovereign. That means that God do what he want to do, how he want to do it, when he want to do it. And you got to understand that at the end of the day, God is sovereign. But God, if you're going to allow this to happen, I need you to be able to mend my heart. And that's why I want to leave you with tonight. There's some things that you got to be able to face that this happened. Because sometimes what happens is we go through life and we allow our pain or our issue or our sadness, we allow these things to go on in our life, and we live in denial. We live in denial that, you know, I want to put that under the rug. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to talk about, you know, my cousin that I lost. I don't want to bring this up around the family members because that's insensitive or whatever. But you got to make sure that you have your time, your moments, you know, whatever it may be. There are times that I go through my auntie's page or my cousin's page, you know, especially, you know, around his birthday or around, you know, just days. It's just like, I'm not celebrating his death. I'm just one of those, I'm different with that. I don't want to celebrate your death. I want to celebrate your birthday, because your death was not a good place for me to be. If you believe me, I dare you to heart it up. Your death, it reminds me of that day in September that you walked away and I wasn't able to say my last words to you. That day in September when you walked away and I remember you vanishing. No, I want to remember that day, man. We drove in the car and you was teaching me how to drive a 5-speed, your 5-speed. And I was tearing up your car, and we up here laughing, and you putting me out the car or picking me up saying, at the time your girl was skinny, whatever, picking me up saying, girl, like, telling you gonna tear my car, or me hooking you up with one of my homegirls or one of my friends. You know, I want to remember that. Can somebody type out on the screen, remember the good times? That's point 1. Remember the good times. Don't allow your pain of sadness to get you in a point to where you're so depressed, to where you're not living anymore. And you know the saying, this is the one thing that I hate to hear people say, is that I understand what you're going through. Can we stop that? I don't understand what you're going through. I don't get it, because I didn't have the relationship that you may have had with that person. So I don't understand what you're going through, because at the end of the day, what happened, it happened. And it hurts. your nephew, your cousin, your job, your husband, and walked out on you. Man, that hurts. Can't nobody understand that pain that you've been through but you, because you're the one that experienced it. And you experienced on a different level than anybody else. Maybe you and your husband, or maybe you and your mom didn't have the relationship that me and my mom have. I don't talk to my mama every day. I talk to my mama, maybe once, twice a month. I mean, don't judge me. That works well for us. You got to know what works for you and your parents, but that works well for us. But you may be that person that talked to this family member, the one that you lost, or you may have been the person that loved your job, or you may have been the person that said, you know what? Not only do I love my job, but I love my husband. And you lost something. Man, can I come and speak to you today? That you got to be able to face that situation and remind yourself that this happened to me. That everything that I've experienced and everything that happened, it happened. And it's okay that I felt that way. And maybe I was mad at God because of this pain. See, one thing about pain is that pain has no respect of person. I dare you to heart it up if you feel me. Pain has no respect of person. Pain doesn't care who it hits. Pain doesn't care who it jumps on. Pain doesn't care what happens. But can I tell you this? So many of us experience this thing called pain, and we allow ourselves to drown ourselves in, I remember, taking pills, not pills like that, but, when I get a headache, I would take medicine. I would take BC powder, I would take Tylenol, whatever it is. I would take it for headaches. And one thing about a headache, that would kind of cure it, kind of, make it better. But one thing that we try to do with this pain is that we try to drown in work. We drown ourselves in work. We drown ourselves in making sure that, we're drinking or we're smoking, whatever it is. We try to drown ourselves in it because we don't want to face this experience that we have experienced, or we're experiencing now, or that we've experienced years ago. You got to be able to face that, man. I'm not trying to get you to go back and dig up old, with your family members to where it's going to hurt. No, man, be happy for the days that you spent with them, because you got to remember that God could have took this person when they were 2, when they were 1, could have took them a long time ago. God blessed me with 30 some years to be able to spend with my cousin, to where I know him like no other. Like, I love him. That was my cousin. That's like my brother. I love him. At the end of the day, he would never be forgotten. Not in my book. He would never be forgotten. And you got to remind yourself that what I'm experiencing and what happened to me, God, it's okay. It has to be okay. It has no other choice but to be okay. But in order for me to deal with this, I got to make sure that I'm not drowning myself in work. I'm not drowning myself in my children. I'm not drowning myself in pill popping. I'm not drowning myself in drinking. I'm not drowning myself in these situations, because once I start drowning myself, what's going to happen is, man, you end up releasing stuff that you don't want to release. You end up with attitudes. You end up mad at everybody in the world. You end up with all this hurt and pain that's on the inside of you. You hold grudges, and you're really upset with God, and you don't want to say it. Yeah, you don't want to say that I'm upset with God because this happened. That this happened. God, I lost my family member. I lost my loved one, or I lost my job. I lost whatever it is that you've lost. If it's molestation, come here. If somebody took your virginity, as a young child, if somebody raped you, they took this from you. It was snatched away from you without without knowing, it was unexpected. Everything, whatever it was, God, I didn't expect this to happen. And what I want to teach you tonight is how to turn this pain of sadness around into power, into purpose. I want to teach you that tonight. The number one thing that you have to identify, you got to identify what this pain is. What is this that I'm dealing with? I dare you to get a pen and piece of paper. Write it down. What is my pain of sadness that I'm dealing with that's making me stuck, that's making me stagnated, that's making me angry, that's making me upset, that's making me want to punch somebody, that's making me mad? God, what is it? And when you write this down You get a mirror of what I'm dealing with right now. You gotta identify what you're going through. One of the things that Paula White says it best. She said, we cannot confront what we are unwilling to identify. Let me say that again. We cannot confront what we are willing to identify. You can't confront the thing if you're not willing to identify what it is. What happened? What happened to you? You cannot confront what it is. If you don't confront what it is, if you don't expose what happened to make you feel what you feel when it comes to your pain, you'll never be able to get to your purpose. You'll never be able to go forward. You got to understand that this is the place that I'm in. And the thing with this is that what I'm dealing with y'all with tonight is those rooted issues, those rooted things that are on the inside of you. I promise you, we're going somewhere. I just got to get you here first, because you can't get to purpose and you can't get to the promises that God has for you until you realize that, God, I got to identify, I got to deal with my pain right here. If it's your mama that hurt you, if it's your daddy that hurt, whatever it is, you got to identify your pain right now. God, what is this pain that I'm dealing with right now that I haven't faced, that I decided to put up under a rug, and I said I ain't gonna never deal with because I don't ever want to think about that again? What is this thing that has me so sad and depressed to where I don't want to deal with this anymore? Go back and look at my video that talks about overcoming depression. And it's more detailed information on principles of how to overcome depression. But tonight, I want you to deal with your pain. To face your pain. Look at it in the face and identify what it is. Not only that, is that I realized that when I wrote my book, I know everybody see the cane that's on my book. It really doesn't have a whole lot to do with the cane. God had me dealing with, I started writing and journaling in 1999. I started journaling in Are y'all still there? Can you heart it up? Are you enjoying this? Let me know if you're enjoying this by hearting it up real quick. I started journaling in 1999. And by the way, God is working on some stuff. I'm excited about it. But I started journaling in 1999. And I would write down, what I was going through. I would write a journal to God. And it's so crazy how that journal turned into a book now. Thank y'all. I see your hearts. Yes, yes, yes. Let me know you're there. Thank you. I see your hearts. And this going to be one of them. You probably ain't going to give too much hearts because you really thinking right now. Like, God, what do I keep pushing under the rug? If it's, my husband's infidelity. What is it that I'm putting on the rug that's making me just go to a place? Hey, Bishop, so good to see you, honey. He's at work right now, y'all. I love him so much. But what is it that's making you, whatever it is that's making you not deal with it, that you decided to put that in the back of your mind and said, I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to, this one of them that you just might not be able to heart it up. I get it. I totally get it. Those of you watching the replay, hey, I get it. This is going to be a hard pill to swallow. So go back to 1999 when I started writing, and I'm going to be done in about 15 minutes. I started writing. And when I started writing, I didn't realize, and that's what you get a lot of inside of my book, There's Power in Your Pain, is that I realized that, you know what, man, a lot of issues I didn't deal with. I didn't deal with a lot of issues, with my parents, a lot of things that happened. It wasn't nothing that they did totally wrong. I had great parents that, that did some things. But can I tell you, you're only a parent once. So there was mistakes that were made. There was things that had happened, whatever. But one of the things that I realized is that I didn't ever deal with it. And so what it had was I was this girl in a marriage that was broken for years. Broken because I never dealt with it. I just swept it under the rug and show up at the house and show up at the family reunion and show up at the events, and faking it till I made it. And it was as if God, I'm gonna share a picture on here with you guys tomorrow, and how we wear these masks because we don't deal with our pain. I need you to hear me. We walk around with masks as women because we don't face our pain. We don't face, what happened. Letting a person know, like, you hurt me. Like, I understand you were only a parent once, but you hurt me. Again, this is about his real game. Can somebody say GCM, game changer moment? And I remember going to my mom and I sat down and I talked to her. I end up, and this here was about 3 years ago. Can I help you? Look how long it took me to do it. Can you heart it up? Look how long it took me to sit down and talk to my mom. And I shared some things with her. From then to now, can I tell you that our relationship is so much better? So much together, you know, it's so way better than it ever been before. But what I realized is that my mama had been through pain. Hurt people. My mom had experienced pain and she shared with me. And I was so torn up because I got it. I realized that my mom was broken. And she didn't deal with some things. And I didn't want to be that girl anymore. Woo! I'm trying not to cry, y'all. I didn't want to be that girl anymore. And so what I decided to do after 1999, I wrote all these, man, I got stacks of books that I wrote. And I wrote all these things to God and I wrote it down. And God started showing me the reason why I had grudges, the reason why I was so mean and hateful. I remember bullying people in school. Because however I could release my pain, I wanted to release it on the first person that did me wrong, the first person that wronged me, the first person. However, I was so mad at God when I lost my cousin, man. I wanted to hurt something. I was a girl in church, you know, a girl in, y'all gotta excuse. Tears are good. Can you heart it up? Tears are good for the soul. I'm about to do something with my women, man. I can't wait to second Wednesday. Oh my God. I might even let y'all chime in. I don't know. It might be a little bit too personal, but anyway, tears are good for the soul. But one of the things I realized was that I was walking around and I was broken until I started writing and journaling. And the reason why I couldn't let my husband love me the way I had deserved, that's right, it's cleansing. Yes, it is. The way I had deserved to be loved, I wouldn't allow him in because I didn't deal with my pain. I didn't deal with my sadness. I didn't deal with my brokenness of losing a loved one. I didn't deal and you know, I know, you know, he had sisters, he had, you know, whatever. I dedicate this to my cousin, Benny Johnson. I love him. Junior, I love him, Tapo, man. But not just him, but, you know, things I dealt with, you know, with my mom, man. Like, I'm telling you, ladies, girls, like, hear me, man. You gotta face your issue. If you want to get the promises that God has for you, you gotta, number one, release the secret stuff. Yeah, God. Oh, I feel God in this room right now. You got to release the secret stuff that you're holding on to. Can somebody type on the screen? Secrets will make you sick. Oh. Can somebody type that all over the screen? I dare you. I know you're probably taking all this in. But secrets will make you sick. If you keep holding on to secrets, if you keep holding, and what do I mean secrets? The secrets of, I'm mad at God. Duh, that's real talk. I'm mad at God. Or the secrets of, they raped me or they molested me. The secrets of, God, I lost a loved one and I'm not happy about it. Like, I'm mad that they're gone. The secrets will make you sick. Secrets will make you sick, man. You got to expose it and you got to figure out, how do I expose this so that I can be free? I had to go to my mama because I was so busy pouring into the women at my church. GCM, game changer moment. I was so busy pouring into the women of my church. I was so busy pouring, hey, sugar. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? I was so busy pouring into the women of my church. I was so busy running, moving in ministry and doing things. And God had to sit me down for a minute and tell me, you need to deal with the issues of your mother if you want to learn how to be a mother to other women in your ministry. You got to deal with it. And I had to, when I tell you guys that was the hardest thing I've ever done, because if you know my mom, you can't sit down with my mama. You might not know, I ain't going to tell her name, but if you know her, ain't Lisa on here, she know my mama. It was hard to do. Can I tell you? Praise God. Yes, Nikki, we got to be transparent. I got to be transparent with y'all because I didn't just wake up and just say there's power in my pain. No, I experienced some stuff. I've been through some stuff. And guess what? Every person that's on here, every person that's watching this replay, we all have experienced this stuff. But the thing is that how are you handling your pain? Are you identifying what your pain is? Are you understanding that my secrets will make me sick? But most of all, are you facing your pain? Are you facing the person that wronged you? Are you facing the person? Are you able to? And guess what? You can't face everybody. You got to make sure you ask God, God, is this what I'm supposed to do in this season? I could have talked to my mama 10 years ago, you know, when, or 16, 17, when I got saved for real. I could have talked to her then, but that wasn't the time. God said I have to do it in my timing. And when God did it, he did it. And I was able to release some things out for me. My last point, you got to get free. I'm free. Praise the Lord. I'm free. Yeah, you got to get free and identify and be real with yourself. Either, God, I'm mad at you, or either, you know what, God, I'm trying to get, you know, I want to be free in this thing. God, either reveal to me, you know, remind me that the secrets, they making me sick. You know, these things that I'm holding on to, these things I'm not talking about, these things that I'm not exposing. God, I'm going through this stuff and I feel like that I'm about to crumble. Because I got this mask on and I'm not facing these issues that I'm going through. So I'm done. Face your pain. You're looking at a girl. Not that I made it. Ain't nobody on here made it. There's still some things as I grow and as we get, you know, I preached last night, grow up. Grow up, grow up, grow up. Can you type that on the screen? Grow up. One thing about growing up is that growing up means that I got to be able to understand that in this season, God, if I want to get the things that you have next for me, I better grow up now, because that means my next level is going to be even harder. Oh, heart it up if you feel me. My next level going to be harder. So I need to grow up in this one. So God, teach me how to let go of the simple things, or let go of these things that are holding me down, that has me bound, that's not allowing me to get to purpose. Teach me how to let go of these things, or how to expose these things. If it's to a counselor, go talk, let it out. If you can't trust nobody, go talk to somebody, man. Let it out, just to get it off your chest. That I told you, man, I'm about to do something with my women. I can't wait. I did it with my marriage ladies. If the people from the marriage thing was on at the marriage, Sister Katie, tell her it was so good. Don't tell them what we did. But there was something that I did, and it was like a reality check. And I'm about to do it with my women, but I can't wait. But anyway, it was a reality check. Because the thing is that if people really knew who we were and what really went on here, on a day-to-day basis, you at work and you're thinking about it. You're at home and you're thinking about it. And every now and then it pops up. That pain that got you depressed. That pain, that loss that you've experienced. Yes, new levels, new devils. I know that's right. So I come to encourage you tonight. Face your pain, man. Don't be like me. Don't be like, you know, our ancestors, you know, holding on stuff for years that they didn't want to tell us about. I was sitting at the hospital with my grandmother. She was in the hospital a couple of weeks ago, and she has dementia, and you know, she's in the stages or whatever. And she would go back, and I would sit there with her for hours. And my grandmother would go back, and the stuff that she shared with me that went on with our family, like nobody ever told us. And it was like secret stuff. Don't allow that to go on in the generation of your family. I had to sit down with my daughter. We had breakfast with her about a week ago, and we shared some stuff with her about her mama and daddy that she, you got to be able to, come on, man. Don't allow these generational curses, these generational issues, or this sadness to just sit in you and just, you feed it. Ugh, I'm almost done. I'm 5 minutes over. Don't sit here and allow this stuff to be fed, and you're constantly feeding it because you bring it back up and back up again. I tell people all the time, one of the things that I try my best not to do in my book was live in my story, in my past. I don't want you to live in your past. That ain't what I'm trying to do. I want you to face your pain for a moment so that you can look at it and you can defeat it. And you can, not be defeated, and you can overcome it. I had to do that from 99 until the day I wrote There's Power in Your Pain. It was as if I was letting the world know that, man, pain hurt. But if I only knew where God would have me right now, I would never believe that church hurt, people dogging me out, whatever, would get me to a place to where none of that even, of course I'm human, it's going to hurt. But at the end of the day, I learned how to love people in spite of, and I'm not just saying it. I'm doing it because I learned how to face your pain. I learned how to face my pain. I learned how to look at the fact that everybody ain't out to get me. Everybody ain't out to hurt me. Everybody, my husband is not out, to mess me up, man. We play for the same team. He loves me. He not trying to hurt me. Everybody ain't just sitting back and plotting up something on you. Ugh. Everybody not against you, man. Just because whoever did whatever they did to you don't mean that the next person is going to do that. So I dare you to type on the screen, GCM, if this has encouraged you to say, you know what, First Lady, I'm going to go write some stuff down and set up some principles on how I'm going to face my pain. If that's somebody that I need to go and talk to, I was talking to one of the ladies at my church on a couple of weeks ago, and she was telling me how, she had some issues with her baby daddy. And I'm done after this, and maybe this will encourage somebody to go and talk to that person. And one of the things that she said was that she had some issues with her baby daddy, and he was her first love, her first, lover, all that. And she said that after hearing some things that I've talked about and I've shared with her, and Bishop has shared with her, she decided to call him. And he's married, then moved on. But she didn't realize how she was still holding. This was years ago. Like, their child is like 20-some years old, right? But she was still holding that. She was still holding that grudge. Still holding that sadness of he left me, and he didn't want, left me and he's with another woman or whatever. So she decided to call him, and she apologized to him. And can I tell you that, and we talked, and she said that after she apologized to him, it was like a weight that came off of her shoulder. So I want to leave you with this homework. Okay? You ready? Can you type on the screen? I'm ready. And I'm done. It's 8:40. Almost 8:40. I wanted to be off here at 8:45. I really 8:30, but I just skipped to 8:45 because, I just had a moment. I hope this is good for you. I see your heart, so I know this is good for you. This is what I want you to do. Can you say, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. This is your homework. This is your homework. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Yes, I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you. Yes. Hey, Sister Dendra. Hey, Sister Tamisha. Hey, Sister Katie. Yes, 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 yes. I'm ready. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go home. Because one thing you can't do, I can't give you overload. You don't want to go dealing with everything. Don't do that. You'll find yourself in a deeper depression. No, don't deal with everything. Deal with one thing at a time. That's why it took me 3 years to write my book, because I had to deal with one piece at a time. And while I was writing, God was changing my heart as I was writing. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go home. I want you, I hope you're at home. But there's 3 things I need you to do. Number 1, I want you to write down the one pain that you need to face. Yes, one thing at a time. Write down 3 pains you need to deal with. 3. One of the pains need to be one of the pains in your past, one of the pains in your present, and then the next pain I want you to deal with, I want you to be able to deal with the secret things. And the secret things may be a list of stuff. And this is your own inner thoughts, your own inner issues. I want you to do that. I want you to write down 3 things. Can somebody type that in the screen? My past pain, my present pain. And the secret place is going to be the secret things that you're handling is going to be what I call your future pain. These are the secret things that I'm dealing with right now, and I don't want to take them into my next. I don't want to take them into my future. Can somebody type that in the screen? Number 1, I want to deal with my past pain. Yes, thank you, Sister Katie. Thank you. Write down 3 past, yes. Your past pain, your present pain, and the secret thing. That secret things are going to be your future because you want to start working on that. Do those 3 things. And I want you to be able to look at those things and work on them one day at a time. My past pain, work on that one day at a time. Don't give yourself too much. Thank you, Sister Nikki. Don't give yourself too much. Work on those things. And you deal with those things. Now, your secret things, your past pain, you just want to deal with 1. Don't deal with too many. Deal with that a couple of months later. You got to deal with it. You got to be able to, okay, Lord, do I want to go and talk to this person about my past pain? Do I want to talk to this person about, is it worth it? It's probably not worth it, Lord. Will it change anything? Probably not. Oh, Lord, it will change something. God, until you give me the strength, I want to be able to deal with my past pain. So show me how to handle it now. Show me how to push past that. The second thing is my present pain. There's some things I'm dealing with right now. Lord, just one thing. 1, don't give yourself too many. This one thing, this particular thing that is eating me up. I want to deal with that right now. And then my secrets. I may have about 5. Just give yourself 5 secrets. There's 5 secrets that I'm holding on to that has to deal with my past and my present. But God, I don't want to take these things into my future. And I dare you to pray over that. Pray over those things. Can you do that for me? If you're going to do the homework, I dare you to put the number 1 on the screen. Now, don't put it on number 1 if you ain't going to do it. And I'm done. Don't put number 1 if you ain't going to do it now. But put the number 1 on the screen and say, First Lady, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try this. I'm going to go ahead and put this in work. I'm going to go ahead and make this happen. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I want you to put the number 1 on the screen. I want to make sure that this ain't for nothing. I'm going to put the number 1 on the screen because you know what, Lady Harden? Thank you. I want to be able to face my pain. I want to be able to face my pain. Thank you so much for joining. Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Do the work. It takes work to get over it. It takes work to deal with it. It takes work. Somebody say work. Work. No, I'm just playing. But it takes work. It takes work for you to get where you need to get. So I want you to work. Put in the work. I had to write these things down. Okay? So that's it. That's all I have tonight. I thank you so much for joining on tonight. For those that are watching, thank you for joining. Those that are watching the replay, thank you so much. This is Tanya Harden, the Game Changer. Hey, you can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me and where else? On my website, www.tanyaharden.com. Somebody type that in the screen, www.tanyaharden.com. Follow me on my website, wherever. I'm moving. I'm doing some things. I'm excited. Oh, I wanted to give y'all the date. My phone is on here. So I'll give you guys the date and the flyer. What I'm going to be doing, March Madness. Can somebody type on the screen, March Madness? March Madness. God, I wish I had the flyer. I don't have it in front of me. But March Madness, can you type that on the screen real quick? Thank you, Sister Katie. March Madness. Thank you, Sister Dendra. What I'm going to do, in March, I'm going to do a 3-week course that's going to go deeper into this, facing your pain and your sadness. Y'all seen the flyer before. I think it was like $75, where I broke it down to where it's $10 a week. To where you're going to have this class and you're going to do homework just like I gave you on tonight, but a more deeper depth, we want to deal with those issues. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop the flyer probably next week. And if you want to be a part of that class, invest in where you're going, invest in what you're doing. Definitely want you to be a part of that, because what are you paying for? You're paying for my time. You're paying for me making sure that you're paying for where you're going next. You want to sow where you grow. You want to sow where you're going. And that's going to be in the next class. I have nothing else coming up. I believe that God, just to give you a sneak peek, I believe there's going to be, this going to be a yearly thing. I don't know. But March Madness. Hey, game changers moving in March Madness. I can't wait. So God has me doing some things for that. But I'm super excited. Have some amazing things that's coming up. The next class that we're going to deal with is facing your pain in your sickness. We got to deal with that. I want to talk about that. Those that are dealing with sickness. We'll talk about that next week on Monday. So I'll be back with you guys on Monday. This is like a series. I work better with series. I'm a preacher. So I work a little better with that. So we're going to talk about that. Facing your pain and your sickness. So I can't wait. Again, thank you for joining. This is Tonya Harden. Remember, face your pain. Do the work. Do the work. And guess what? After you do the work, if you want to shoot me an email and say, hey, this is what I've done. Hey, we'll talk about it a little bit on Monday about what you've done or what you've gotten out of it. What is your GCM moment? Come on, Lisa Nichols. What is your GCM moment? What was the GCM moment that was an aha moment, like Oprah would say, an aha moment with you? Share with me on my email. I want to know, wow, what is your aha moment? My aha moment for me was when I started seeing myself in the mirror. Aha moment for me, seeing myself in the mirror. So give me your game changer moment. You can email me at TonyaHarden.tgc. That's .tgc@gmail.com. TonyaHarden.tgc@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. I want to know, is this helping you? Are you being encouraged? I want to know. So let me know. I'm going to share another video that my husband and I did for pastors. Oh my God, it was absolutely awesome. And I said, what better way than to share it? I have a couple of first ladies that's on here. So I'm going to share it with you guys. It was a dynamic moment. So I'm going to share it probably later this week. He's going to chop it up and all that good stuff. So it's on his Next Level page. But I thank you for joining. For those of you, again, hey, do the work. Put in the work. Make it happen and watch God change your life. This is Tonya Harden, the Game Changer Coach. I can't wait to see you next week. Remember, there's power in your pain when you learn to speak life into it. Hey, what's next? Let's move into it. Love you guys. Stay blessed.